And when we'd run into each other over the years, we'd laugh about that night that we first met.
Everything changed in a second. And that's what I want to talk about. Life is short and it's fragile.
He was a bright light, and that's how I want to remember him.
Jim Croce, born James Joseph Croce on January 10, 1943, in South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, grew up in a close-knit Italian-American family. From a young age, Croce displayed a strong affinity for music, starting with the accordion at age 5. His early exposure to various musical genres, thanks to his parents' eclectic record collection, shaped his diverse musical tastes. During his teenage years, Croce developed a love for folk and rock music, which he actively pursued while attending Upper Darby High School. His passion for music continued to flourish when he enrolled at Villanova University in 1961. There, he immersed himself in the campus music scene, playing in bands and performing at local coffee houses and gatherings. At Villanova, Croce met his future wife, Ingrid Jacobson, who became a significant influence on his life and music. They married in 1966, the same year he released his self-funded debut album, Facets, a collection of folk songs that showcased his storytelling prowess. Although the album did not achieve commercial success, it marked the beginning of Croce's journey as a singer-songwriter and laid the foundation for his future career in music. Jim Croce's path to fame was paved with perseverance and the evolution of his musical style. After years of performing in small venues and struggling to find his footing in the music industry, his breakthrough came in the early 1970s. The turning point in Croce's career was his collaboration with the talented guitarist Maury Muehleisen, whom he met in 1970. Muehleisen's intricate guitar work complemented Croce's heartfelt lyrics and folk rock sensibilities, creating a distinctive sound that resonated with a broad audience. In 1972, Croce's big break arrived with the release of his third album, You Don't Mess Around with Jim, under ABC Records. This album marked Croce's emergence as a major recording artist. The title track, You Don't Mess Around with Jim, along with the hits Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels, and Time in a Bottle, captured the hearts of listeners with their relatable narratives and melodic charm. Time in a Bottle especially gained a poignant resonance when it surged to the top of the charts following Croce's death, cementing his legacy. The album's success propelled Croce into the spotlight, earning him significant radio play and television appearances, which amplified his popularity nationwide. In quick succession, Croce released another album, Life and Times, in 1973. This record featured Bad Leroy Brown, a song that became his first #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. The song's catchy rhythm and memorable lyrics about a larger-than-life character captivated audiences and showcased Croce's knack for storytelling. Jim Croce reached the pinnacle of his career in the early 1970s, becoming one of America's most beloved singer-songwriters. By 1973, Croce's name was synonymous with the unique blend of folk, rock, and country music that resonated with a broad audience. His ascent to fame was not only marked by commercial success, but also by a deep connection with his listeners through his authentic and relatable storytelling. After the success of his album, You Don't Mess Around with Jim, Croce released Life and Times in 1973. This album included Bad Leroy Brown, a character-driven song that became his first #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. The song's infectious melody and vivid narrative about a braggart who meets his match struck a chord with audiences and further cemented Croce's place in the music world. His rapid rise was further bolstered by his engaging live performances and extensive touring. Croce's down-to-earth persona and the genuine rapport he developed with his audience set him apart in the music industry. Whether performing on television shows like The Midnight Special or playing at intimate venues, Croce had an uncanny ability to connect with people from all walks of life. In July 1973, Croce released another album, I Got a Name, which included the title track, as well as hits like I'll Have to Say I Love You in a Song and Workin' at the Car Wash Blues. The title song, released posthumously, became an anthem of personal identity and resilience, echoing Croce's own journey in the music industry. During this period, Croce's songs were omnipresent on the radio, and he became a regular feature in popular music magazines. His storytelling, often woven with humor and poignant reflections on life's simple moments, resonated deeply with listeners. The tragic end, the terrifying last minutes of Jim Croce, the fateful night. September 20th, 1973, marked a devastating and abrupt end to Jim Croce's promising career. After an evening filled with music and applause at Northwestern State University in Natchitoches, Louisiana, Croce and his band were preparing to embark on their next journey. The group had just finished a successful concert and were scheduled to fly to Sherman, Texas, for their next performance. What should have been a routine trip turned into a night of tragedy that would forever alter the course of music history. Preparing for departure. The atmosphere was likely filled with a mix of exhaustion and anticipation as the crew gathered their equipment and prepared for departure. Jim Croce, known for his tireless work ethic, was looking forward to his upcoming performance, eager to continue sharing his music with his growing fan base. The team's tight schedule was indicative of Croce's rapid ascent in the music world, with his presence in high demand across the country. The aircraft chosen for the flight was a Beechcraft E-18S, a light twin-engine aircraft. Piloted by Robert N. Elliott, a seasoned professional, the plane was to carry Croce, his guitarist Maury Muleson, manager and booking agent Kenneth D. Cortez, comedian George Stevens, and road manager Dennis Rast. Although the weather was clear and conditions seemed ideal for flying, the impending journey would prove anything but. The takeoff. The plane took off from Natchitoches Regional Airport at approximately 10 p.m. The initial moments of the flight appeared uneventful. However, almost immediately after leaving the runway, the aircraft struggled to gain altitude. This alarming development would have been instantly noticeable to those on board, likely sparking a sense of fear and confusion. The crash. The final moments of Jim Croce's life. Immediate context. The tragic crash that claimed Jim Croce's life occurred on the night of September 20th, 1973, in Natchitoches, Louisiana. After a successful concert at Northwestern State University, the unfolding tragedy. The evening of September 20th, 1973, their spirits were high as they prepared to depart for their next concert in Sherman, Texas. However, this promising night was about to take a fatal turn. The Beechcraft E-18S, a twin-engine aircraft, was prepped and ready to take the team to their next destination. Along with Croce, the plane carried his lead guitarist Maury Muleson, comedian George Stevens, manager and booking agent Kenneth D. Cortez, and road manager Dennis Rast. Pilot Robert N. Elliott, who had considerable flying experience, was at the controls. As the group settled into their seats, there was likely a mix of fatigue and anticipation. Touring was rigorous, but the joy of performing and the camaraderie among the group helped offset the grueling schedule. They were unaware that these were their last moments of life. Takeoff and initial struggles. At approximately 10 p.m., the Beechcraft E-18S began its takeoff roll down the runway of Natchitoches Regional Airport. The night was clear, and the initial phase of the departure seemed normal. However, almost immediately after leaving the ground, the aircraft faced critical problems. As the plane climbed, it struggled to gain sufficient altitude. This issue would have been immediately noticeable to the passengers, especially those familiar with flying. For Jim Croce and his companions, the realization that the plane was not ascending properly would have induced a mounting sense of dread. The sensation of losing altitude, the veer to the right, and the ground rushing up to meet them would have been a horrifying realization. In these brief, agonizing seconds, there would have been little time to process the situation or react. The rapid descent and collision with the tree left no room for escape or survival. The force of the crash and subsequent explosion were so severe that the lives of Croce and his companions ended instantaneously. The aircraft, now engulfed in flames, became a scene of devastation, marking the end of 6 promising lives. Aftermath and legacy. The tragic crash was immediately followed by a response from emergency services, but the intensity of the fire and the wreckage meant that there was no hope for rescue. The news of Jim Croce's death, along with his band and crew, sent shockwaves through the music world and beyond. In the days that followed, investigations began to uncover the factors that led to the disaster. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, identified pilot error as the primary cause. Fatigue and unfamiliarity with the airport environment likely played critical roles in the pilot's inability to maintain a safe ascent path. The Beechcraft's struggle to gain altitude, combined with its veering off course and the fatal collision with the tree, painted a picture of a tragic sequence of errors and circumstances. Jim Croce's death at the age of 30 robbed the world of a remarkable talent. His music, characterized by its heartfelt storytelling and melodic charm, had resonated with millions. A timeless musical legacy, Jim Croce's career, though tragically brief, left an indelible mark on the music world. His songs, known for their poignant lyrics and storytelling prowess, have continued to resonate with audiences long after his death. Croce's music captured the essence of everyday life, love, and loss, making him a beloved figure in American music history. In the years following his death, Croce's music achieved a timeless quality. His posthumous album, I Got a Name, released just a few days after his death, contained hits that showcased his versatility and emotional depth. The title track became an anthem of personal identity and resilience, echoing Croce's journey and the legacy he left behind. Songs like I'll Have to Say I Love You in a Song and Workin' at the Car Wash Blues further cemented his reputation as a master storyteller who could evoke both joy and sorrow through his music. Croce's ability to weave narratives into his songs created characters and stories that felt real and relatable. Bad, Bad Leroy Brown, with its catchy rhythm and vivid tale of a larger-than-life character, became an enduring classic. His ballads, such as Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels, and Time in a Bottle, offered heartfelt reflections on love, loss, and the passage of time, resonating deeply with listeners. Impact on music and culture. Jim Croce's influence extended beyond his immediate success. His approach to songwriting and his blend of folk, rock, and country elements influenced a generation of musicians who admired his ability to connect with audiences on a deeply personal level. Artists across genres have cited Croce as an inspiration, recognizing the authenticity and emotional honesty in his work. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and legacy of Jim Croce. His music continues to inspire and resonate, leaving a lasting impact on the world. If you enjoyed learning about Croce's incredible story and his timeless songs, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories about iconic musicians and their contributions to music history. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep the music alive.